Okay, so this is your story from last week, the missing homework. I'm going to go over how to do the race question that you had at the end because it is very similar to the question that you're going to do today. So make sure you're paying very close attention on how I do this. So, first, I read my prompt. Read the story, The Missing Homework. What lesson do you think Rachel learned in this story? What do you think she will do differently next time? Use examples from the story to help you answer the question. So my first one, I read it and I know that they want me to restate the question. And remember, that's when you take words from the question that show what you're talking about. It tells your subject. So out of all of these options, the one that shows words from the question is this one. I think Rachel learned that. Rachel learned. Okay, so that's going to be my restating. So that's what I put for R. Now we go down to the next one. Using race, what is the second part of the response to this question? Choose the correct way to answer this question. So remember, they want to know, what did she learn in this story? So when I look at my options, I already used R, or the second one, so I'm left with these three left. Now, if you noticed before, in R, it doesn't have a period at the end, and it's not a complete sentence. We are going to put R and A together. You can do this sometimes, so you're not going to have 4 sentences, you'll have 3 sentences. So I think Rachel learned that, and then we have to choose what she learned. And if you look down here, she needs to be more organized. And you double check. Does that answer the question? What did Rachel learn in the story? She needs to be more organized? Yes. So R and A go together. Now we go on to number 3. Using race, what is the third part of the response or second sentence to this question? Choose the correct way to cite evidence to the question. So if you remember, when we cite evidence, we get it from the text. And hopefully you remember those little sentence starters that we always used. In the text it says. So let's look at our options and see which one gives an example from the text that Rachel learned she needs to be more organized. So we're left with the first one and the third one. Well, when I look at the third one, it says, the text says. So that's probably going to be my answer, but I'm going to double check by reading the whole thing. So as I read, ask yourself, is this a piece of evidence from the text that shows Rachel learned she needs to be more organized? The text says she was looking everywhere for her homework. So Rachel's mom says they will come up with a place to put her homework from now on. It shows me that she learned to be more organized, and it gives an example from the text. So that is my evidence to support my answer, part C. Number 4, use race. What is the fourth part or final sentence of the response to this question? Choose the correct way to explain the question. So remember, we're just going a little bit more into detail. We're saying how that piece of evidence we just gave supports that our answer was that she learned how to be more organized. So I'm only left with one option, but I'm not just going to click it. I'm going to double check again to see if it's explaining my evidence and my answer. This shows that Rachel knows she needs to be more organized so she won't lose her homework ever again. So we're explaining she needs to be more organized so she doesn't lose her homework again. The homework was part of our evidence, and being more organized was part of our answer. So this question does explain our answer. So now, this is where a lot of people had trouble last week. All you're doing for number 5, you are just going to type the answers in order down here to make a good paragraph. It says using your answers number 1 through 4, those questions we just did, type your 3-sentence response to the constructed response question. First, type your answer from number 1. So I'm going to go up and I'm going to type my answer from number 1. If you remember how to copy and paste, you're more than welcome to do that. You push Control C, and then you go down to the line, and then you push Control V. Next, type your answer from part 2. So I go up, I find question number 2. I highlight it, I push Control C, go back down to my answer and push Control V. Now I have R and A done. Then you go to number 3. Again, you can either type it or you can push Control C. And then you go down, you click, and push Control V. And finally, we're going to have our answer from part 4, number 4. Control C, Control V. Now, I'm not just going to copy and paste and not even read it. You make sure you go back and read what you write. You might have made a mistake. You might have accidentally deleted something or put it in the wrong order. Always, always read your answer. I think Rachel learned that she needs to be more organized. So I know I restated the question by saying, I think Rachel learned. And when I say she needs to be more organized, I answered the question. So now I'm looking for citing evidence from the text. The text says she was looking everywhere for her homework. So Rachel's mom says that they will come up with a place to put her homework from now on. Yep, I've got evidence from the text. This shows that Rachel knows she needs to be more organized so she won't lose her homework ever again. Yep, I explained how those things go together. I have all 4 yeses, and I'm just going to double check again. I have every question answered. And then I'm going to push this button down here, submit. It's very, very important that you push that button. Okay, so that was the review of last week. Make sure you do almost the same exact thing for this week, just a different story.